Okay, so we are in section 4.2, simplifying algebraic expressions. So our job today is to understand completely what term, coefficient, constant, and like terms all mean. A term is separate parts broken up by addition and subtraction signs. So if we look at this expression up at the top, we see 3x plus 7 plus x plus 2. So our separate terms in this are 3x, 7, x, and 2, because each one of these things are broken up by addition signs. Okay? Those addition signs are not part of those, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 separate terms. Coefficients. Now coefficients, they are terms, so we already know what a term is. It's broken up by plus or minus signs. Terms containing a variable. The number in front of the variable is the coefficient. So let's look at this first number here. First term here, we have 3x. The coefficient is just that 3. It's the number that's in front of the variable. If we look at this third term, this just x, it has a coefficient, but the coefficient is invisible. The coefficient is in front of that x, and the coefficient is an invisible number 1. So technically I can rewrite that whole thing as 1x. The constant. Constants are numbers that do not have a variable. So our constants in our example problem are 7 and 2. Now, like terms. Like terms are terms that contain the same variable combinations. So if we look at our coefficient information, we had 3x and 1x. These are like terms. So I'm going to identify these in our problem with doing a little tiny triangle under those. We have also other like terms. Like terms could have the same variable combinations, and that could mean lack of a variable. So we have 7 and 2 in this problem up above, and so I'm going to identify those with a blue circle. So technically, we can move all of those things together, and we have essentially we could create a smaller equation. All right, so now we're going to talk about what that looks like. First, with this next problem, we are going to identify the like terms in the expression. So first I'm going to break it up. I have these. Oops, I'm going to erase some of this and use a thinner pencil line. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to break this up. I'm going to break this up into smaller, I'm going to break this up into terms. So here's my various terms. And then from there I need to figure out which ones are the like terms. So I'm going to circle like terms with red and circle some other like terms with white. So this could all be rewritten as negative 4x, putting one of these terms here and the other term here, plus 2x. And then I'm going to put these other terms in here, 2y plus 3y. Those are my like terms. I've just reordered the equation. And if you notice, that negative came along with that 4. That's really important. If you ever see a plus or a minus, make sure it goes along with the term that you're moving around. If you don't have it going along with that, your answer will be not equivalent. So, here we go. Let's try this. Identify parts of the expression. So first things first, let's find our terms. Here's a term, 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 here's a term. So in all reality, we have 3n as a term, 5m as a term, and I'm going to actually take this whole thing. Negative 6m is a term. 2 is a term, 8 is a term, negative 2n is a term, and 7. The reason why I'm saying negative is because I can rewrite these negatives, or these subtractions, as plus a negative, plus a negative. And that's important because then I can make sure that those negative signs go along with the correct term. So now let's rewrite all of this. I need to find the terms that go together. So I have n's here, n's, and I'm going to mark those with a little blue triangle. I'm going to mark my m's with a circle. Ooh, I forgot an n. And I'm going to just draw a little arrow for my constant so I can figure this all out. I have 3n plus 8n plus a negative 2n. All of that will simplify to a 9n. Now, I have 5m plus a negative 6m plus nothing. So 5m plus a negative 6m, that simplifies itself to negative 1m. And my last little bit, I have my constants, 2 plus 7 equals 9. So simplifying that expression, I essentially have 9n minus 1m, or I could say plus a negative 1m, plus 9. That is equivalent, that is the same thing as this, but is in simplest form. This is the bare bones, okay? Bare bones. That's kind of cool. Now, we're going to go on to our one last step for this. We're going to practice it one last time. Here we go. We have to identify the like terms in this expression. We have 4x plus y plus 7x. Here is a like term, here is a like term. These are both of my x's. Then I have y. That's kind of all by itself. So I could actually rewrite this so it makes more sense to me with those variables like this, 4x plus 7y, or 7x plus y. Last equation that we have, simplify the expression. 6x minus 2y plus x minus 5. So I'm going to start this off by identifying my terms in here. I have 6x minus 2y plus x minus 5. So in all reality, I can write this as plus a negative plus a negative. So now let's identify the like terms. I have x's, I have y's, and I have a constant. Let's rewrite this. 6x plus x. It's going to be 7x. I still have a negative 2y. And I have a constant of 5, or negative 5. So this can all be rewritten as 7x minus 2y minus 5. Final answer. This is equivalent to this. Hope this helps.